So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Right. Welcome to the, what month is this? It's October already? October? Thank you. Welcome to our October monthly Augusta, Georgia Land Bank Authority board meeting. My name is Chris Johnson. I'm the chairman of the board, and as is our custom, I'm going to go around the room, and if you'll tell us who you are and what organization that you're with, and after that we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with this young man over here.
My name is Augusta, and I'm here on behalf of Civil Rivalry Company.
I'm the sister, not romantic partner, Sibling Revenue LLC. We're really excited to present what we have to make today.
I'm John Manson, Land Bank Attorney. Ryan Downs, Land Bank Board.
And Scott Roundtree, Land Bank Board. Patrick Bassett, Land Bank Board. Sean Edwards, Land Bank Staff.
Alex Winfrey with Outside the Box Investors.
Lamar Jones, Land Bank staff.
Susan McMoore with Big S Press.
Amelia Winfrey with Outside the Box Investors.
Ray Thompson with Common Georgia.
Eric Gaines Capital Investments.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First thing is our meeting minutes. Each of you should have received a copy of our meeting minutes from September 10th. If you have not had, board members, if you have not had an opportunity to review those, please take this time to do so, and then after you have reviewed them, I will accept a motion as how we move forward.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? The motion has been made by Mr. Roundtree and seconded by Mr. Lasser to approve the meeting minutes from September 10th. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. The ayes have it. Okay, moving on to, these are companion items. So we're going to do both items B and C at the same time. That is, approve request from Out of the Box Investors LLC to purchase land bank properties located at 514 and 521 DuPont Street for construction of multifamily housing, as well as approve request from Sibling Rivalry LLC to purchase land bank parcels located at 514 DuPont Street and 148 McElmurray for construction of single family. Mr. Edwards.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. So for 521 DuPont Street and 148 McElmurray, as the board can note, those are not in contention. But for 514, we have a first come, first served basis policy. But in this instance, both groups represented Outside the Box as well as Sibling Rivalry were in the office at the exact same time submitting paperwork. We don't do a time stamp to get down to the minute. But we do take documentation up to the day of. There are instances where we will have applications submitted under a doorway, our office is closed, or if it's the weekend. But to rectify that matter moving forward, we're going to be working with consultants who design our website to see what type of Google Docs, or Google Forms, or SOHO forms that can be submitted electronically so that properties are no longer simultaneously available. So on the front end, we want to note for the board that we are working actively to rectify simultaneous the submissions. With that, Sibling Rivalries is looking to develop, and they will have the opportunity to present, if the board has any questions on what they're doing being new. Looking to present a single-family development at 514 DuPont Street, constructed for sale. Conversely, outside the box, we'll be looking to acquire 514 DuPont to continue their duplex development style, as they have already acquired property from the land bank in the past. However, outside the box was approved for 103 McElmurray. That had taken place some time ago, and Mr. Matthew still continues to work through to approve a closing. Went down to the site with both Mr. and Ms. Broadwater, looked at 103 McElmurray, evaluated the possibility of acquiring that property upon recommendation by Mr. Winfrey for their single-family development, because it would not work for his duplex design. And they believe that if the attorney could close the property approved for outside the box within a reasonable time period based upon their financing, they would be willing to withdraw their 514 DuPont application and apply that to 103. That way they get two properties on the same street, and he gets to continue along the street. Mr. Manton did reply to my long email kind of laying all those specifications out, so that he can close 103 McElmurray, and that documentation deposit, he of course will update the application. That deposit can apply to Sibling Rivalries. They believe that that site does work for them, and again, both parties are here to answer any questions that you have. So in making a recommendation to the board, it would be for the board to accept the withdrawal outside the box to close on 103 McElmurray, because again, you previously approved moving forward with that, to allow for the application of deposits received from Sibling Rivalries to be applied to 103 McElmurray, thus making them your new buyer, and then to approve the two separate properties, 521 DuPont for outside the box and 148 McElmurray for Sibling Rivalries. So the motion would settle the matter, but there are a lot of moving parts, and I can repeat any part of that.
Good deal.
Question, Mr. Manton, two questions. One, is there any issue with, Mr. Winfrey withdrawing on the 103, and then allowing Sibling Rivalries to apply what they put in for 514, and now apply that to 103 McElmurray. That's the first question. And then the second question is, when you say reasonable time, what does that mean?
So and I will allow them to elaborate, but they are already working with their GC on cost as well as the bank on financing. And so that is their first project, and 148 would come second. Proceeds from this construction and sale would roll to help that project. And so I don't want to speak to their Gantt chart, but their contractor's ready to go.
So, question?
Yeah, no issue with the transfer, so on board approves it. As far as getting done, this 103 McElmurray was a tax sale, completed borrowing and redemption, and traffic on the quiet title, so they have that done, I think they said about 30 to 45 days. Is that ballparkish?
I'm waiting for you to tell me, I mean, that's fine with me, but, the concern is I think we maybe started, this address first came up maybe at the end of 2023. And I understand this is not the typical timeline whatsoever that the land bank operates with. And so we just don't want to inherit wrong.
Would 60 days be satisfactory?
It would, and I would appreciate diligence if we can do it quicker than that, but that would be satisfactory.
And that would be conservative, 60 days.
Yes.
And Mr. Mann, do we think we can get that done within a 60-day period?
Yes, sir.
Board members have questions?
I'm just compliments to the staff and both parties involved for communicating, figuring out how to unwind a little bit of a knot. So if there's anything out there you feel like you need to add, but other than that, I'm good.
Yeah, I would just like to say that, obviously, we all, need to have a paycheck, and so that's why we're, in this business, but it's really exciting to be able to earn a paycheck and do it in alignment with the values of the city and alignment with our own personal values, and so I'm really excited to understand what the work that Outside of the Box is doing and support that work, and be in alignment with the goals of the land bank, and so, yes, we're here because we need to put food on our tables, but we understand the goals of the city, we understand the goals of the land bank. I'm very excited to be a collaborator in that. And that's how this deal came about, because we need to do what's best, not only for the city of Augusta, but also for this particular community, and what he's doing makes sense for this community, and we're able to continue the work on the other side. So we're here to collaborate.
Sounds good.
So, I don't know if you know, purchase of the motion would be for outside the box to approve the purchase 514 and 521 DuPont, and to approve the purchase 103 McElmurray and 148 McElmurray for Sibling Route.
That is
Correct,
correct.
right?
And
With the proceeds from, 514 with the sibling
The deposit.
sibling rivalries deposit on 514 being applied to 103. Correct.
Yes.
Could we otherwise say, motion to approve 2B and 2C?
Well, C's got to be amended. C's 103 McElmurray, not 514 DuPont.
All right. I don't, you might have no questions. Motion to approve the sale of 514 and 521 DuPont Street to the Outside the Box investors. And also motion to approve the purchase of 103 McElmurray and 148 McElmurray to Sibling Rivalry with the proceeds, the deposit from 514 DuPont being applied to 103 McElmurray by Sibling Rivalry.
You just need to put the purchase amounts. And then,
Let's back up on the top.
Yeah.
Three of those, 'cause we didn't go over the.
So the total price for 514 and 521
514 DuPont, I believe, is 5,500. And 521 DuPont is also 5,500.
Is that correct, Mr. Winfrey?
No, hold on a second. Yes.
Okay, so that's a total of 11,000, and then the deposit had already been made, 7,000, is that correct?
Yes,
So
you're right.
that means that there would be 4,000 less for the sale of 514 and 521 would be $11,000 deposit, having already received deposit of 7,000, is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
And then for McElmurray,
See 103 McElmurray on this.
Yeah, because it was already approved, so we need to actually go back to what that approval was. Alright, we're approving the so that should be 75. Should be 75. to request a conditional approval because we need to see if the board approved Mr. Winfrey at a discounted price, because that was approved for foreclosure in 2023. So we
That's
just,
all back to work.
yeah, so current assessed value of the property may have changed. We need to see what you approved that amount for, what $35 to receive the foreclosure. We need to see what the accepted price was for the land. So if we can request of the board a conditional approval, assuming that there's very little difference, and I don't know if there's a way, John, to get a range there. We have a current valuation on the parcel at $4,000. We know it was no more than that, but if it was slightly less than that.
But not within.
So you said it would not have been?
I do have something. It was 1,400 plus the 4,000. So the deposit was 1,400, and then the fair market value was 4,000.
So then there would have been 5,400.
5,400 total.
And then 148 again.
Assessed at 4,000 and
Yeah,
for
exactly.
1,900.
So what's my total cost for 148?
3,500 for the foreclosure, and then 1,900 for the buying price.
Yeah, because they did a counter offer of the 4,000 valuation and everything. So.
That was a total of $5,400
Correct.
for one.
Or 8,000.
And that equates to what you accepted for previous approval.
103,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is 5,400.
That's correct.
So that would be a total of 10,008. Right?
So we might have found, so I think he did pay $6,000 for the deposit for 103 Malcolm Lane, so there would be a deposit difference there.
This wasn't quite, it wasn't quite that much.
Yeah, and I just found the price sheet, so he did pay $6,000 for that deposit.
I apologize.
So you,
Different correspondence here.
but total fees though,
Now, that was negotiated at board meeting, I remember, so that part I don't have readily available. I may be able to find it.
You know, the total sales price.
Give me a moment here, I'm gonna see if I can find those minutes.
because that would have been a request at 10, and we would need to pull the minutes to see what was accepted by the board as the offer. And then the board would need to consider if it was going to accept that approved offer amount in this circumstance to sell the property to the new applicant. So we can leave that number.
My recommendation would be whatever was approved sale price at the time, be the same
Be the same.
sale price.
That's what we're gonna get out of it.
So in these minutes, it does not have a price listed, it should, but it doesn't. So I'd have to go back and see the video to get an answer on that, because it just said they are approved for sale.
Okay, let's deal, so I'm gonna do item B first, so we know what that is.
Yeah.
We'll do that first. So motion, I'm gonna amend the motion. Motion to approve, the request from Outside the Box Investors LLC to purchase land bank properties located at 514 and 521 DuPont, for construction of multifamily housing for a total price of $11,000.
Question about the counter offer, if it was particularly reason. Because that was offered at 50%. Fair market value. How much from Sean, the buyer?
I mean, for the, okay, to address the question, and tell me how it works, you just said the question. Okay. So, because of the willingness to be able to move to an alternate property, we accepted an offer that was less than 50%. It's a lot that has had some issues on it when it came to closing timeline, but then there are some concerns concerns about the possibility having to increase the number of block in the foundation. That lot, as you roll in off Miguel Murray, has more of a slope to it, and so they have had a contractor to review the typical 8 inches that they would build their single-family homes on, and has advised that they take their block up for their foundation. They're gonna be taking on more cost of construction of this home. We thought it appropriate to accept and recommend for approval of counter based on the willingness to buy a lot that's gonna have a higher construction price.
In addition, there is already some concrete foundation things on there that will have to be removed, yeah. So not a building, but.
Motion's on motion to approve on the, we have a motion.
Do we need to clarify C before we bid all of them?
That's how I actually go through C. Now after this, we'll go into detail about it.
You're asking for 1 and 3.
Mr. Bassler made a motion. So I have a motion by Mr. Bassler and a second by Mr. Dowd to approve the request from Outside the Box Investors LLC for the purchase of properties located at 514 and 521 DuPont Street for the price of $11,000. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. Okay, now let's do more detail about the property of 103. We don't have a question about 148. 148 we know is the 5,400. It's the total of 5,400. Now 103.
So we found that the deposit was $6,000 and then you approved $4,000 for the amount due at closing. So it was a total of $10,000 that he was
Total
expected to pay
10,000.
for the
The sale of that
property.
property. Okay, and then the offer that sibling rivalry has made for that property as well.
So there was no offer made in documentation because the board had to approve allowing for Outside the Box to pull its application and then apply deposits to the new parcel.
The deposit made there was what, 3,500?
Yes, sir.
So what are we selling 103?
So here's what staff will recommend if deemed amenable by the board. $7,500 would have been the offer amount for 514.
Correct.
To ensure that there is no additional cost for the client, $6,000 of that includes application admin and fees for the attorney. The board would accept $1,500 for the valuation on the land, which cuts the land bank proceeds, but in this event, I think it's appropriate. That would keep the recommended amount of total funding expected at closing from the applicant the same, and we would just eat the $2,500 loss on the lot. So attorney's fees still covered as normal. We would have to request that once Mr. Manton refunds Mr. Winfrey his $6,000 deposit, that sibling rivalries makes up that difference so they can prepare to close, but that would only leave them a balance coming to closing of $1,500. So they would keep a pricing sheet exactly where it is, and then just bring a smaller amount to closing if they would fill their gap on deposit.
So they would owe 1,900 on 103.
They would owe $1,500 on 103, the board accepts $7,500 for that lot in total. So they basically will withdraw their offer to pay $7,500 for 514 and ask to pay $7,500 all fees included for 103 Miguel. And the staff would be willing to make that concession if board approves based on valuation of land coming in.
Which would make the total cost for the two properties $10,400.
So make it the same to 12,900. Because you're comfortable with what was submitted and recommended at 148 Miguel Murray. We're now requesting a consideration on 103 Miguel Murray to match their offer for 514.
Gotcha. Is that acceptable?
It is.
Sibling rivalry? Okay. So, do I have a motion to approve the sale of 103 McElmurray and 148 McElmurray, total price of $12,900.
Second.
Have a motion from Mr. Vassar and a second from Mr. Downs. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposers, nay. The ayes have it. Now, the great thing about that is that now, Mr. Winfrey has already built a very beautiful duplex over on DuPont, with now 2 more duplexes coming. And then with Civil Rivalry, sibling, I'm trying to make it simple. Building some single-family homes there. We get a chance to see some really, really good work down in East Boundary, down in Marion Homes. Okay. Next item, update and foreclosure. Update on foreclosures and donations to land. Mr. Hammond.
No updates on donations. We have some 4 pieces of property coming up for sale in November. All for a third-party request. One of those taxes was tax were paid on forestry. And as you can see, starting at item 17, a lot of activity last month approved from investors, which is exciting. Just shows that growth and interest in Augusta and the land bank and our projects is going strong. Trevor's and Kamar do a great job keeping it moving.
So I guess we're working ourselves out of a job. Okay. Any questions or comments from Mr. Manning? Okay. Item B, 3B, presentation of the fiscal year 2023 audit to the full board by the Finance Committee. Mr. Chairman.
So prior to this meeting, we had the opportunity to meet with Stephanie with Madison Berger Accountants to discuss the 2023 audit. Had a good discussion. They did present what she said was a clean report, the financials of the land bank, with some recommendations and some things she pointed out that could be addressed in internal controls and their day-to-day operations of staff and how they reconcile information on their various accounts. In a 2022 report, and in this one was noted that our reconciliation was done seemingly annually. It should be done monthly, and staff was able to report on that reconciliation of accounts occurs monthly, as it was recommended. There were some ongoing questions about proper reporting of a portion of Mr. Edwards' salary that's earmarked as a monthly car allowance, and that's been rectified and cleared up through identifying that as taxable income, as W-2s, and then several control discrepancies that created an opportunity for staff to get back to us on items. It seems primarily through travel and conferences that were identified by the auditor that they need to follow up with the board on. So we'll be reviewing those issues with control discrepancies at our next Finance Committee meeting, which will attempt to establish a quarterly session starting in January of next year. We'll be going over those items. And then in the meantime, they've already handed over the information for 2024. They're getting requests for 2024 audit from our new audit company, Baird, which I believe we approved engaging with them last month. And so we'll get updates on that process and hopefully get that report to the board sooner than later, and be caught up with our audits in prior years. So that audit, I believe, provided everybody minutes that everybody had the opportunity to review it. So if there's any questions or concerns from the rest of the board, feel free to reach out to us and try to get answers to you. But at this time, receipt of the 2023 audit from Madison Brewery for fiscal year 2023.
Okay. And doing that as a form of motion.
Yeah, so motion.
Okay, a motion approved from Mr. Bass, a second from Mr. Downs, to approve the acceptance of the 2023 audit from Gregory. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, nay? The ayes have it. Okay, and also, item not on here, but don't we have a Georgia Association of Land Bank Conference coming up here shortly?
We have the 20, I think we spoke to it last month, it's in that phone, and that's recorded. It says the 5th and 6th. Last month, we presented to the board that GALVA, the Georgia Association of Land Banks, is doing its annual summit in Atlanta this month, 28th and 29th, October 28th and 29th. We made an offer to board members to cover registration for anyone that wanted to be in attendance. I believe that we're out of the early bird. I'm not sure where registration fees are presently. But even with the potential increase, we want to make sure that board members know that you are more than welcome to attend organizational summits and conferences of this nature. Most often they've been held in Macon, Georgia, so Macon's board, Macon Land Bank's board, has often been in attendance, and it's good information. There's a 2-day agenda, it's noted. Both days cover primarily development work, but on day 2, I'm slated to be on a small panel talking about working with developers. I use this situation as one of the examples. And then our board chairman will be presenting that day on tax liens and properties. But great information if you want to be in attendance for that. Again, staff is prepared to take your registration for this board.
Questions, comments? All right, well, we don't have any other items. Meeting is adjourned, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, very much. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah.